First two pictures just into the newsroom. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull has left his Point Piper mansion this morning after waking up to the news he has lost his 30th consecutive news poll. That was the benchmark, of course, the PM used to overthrow Tony Abbott.
Hello, I'm Paul Barry. Welcome to Media Watch. And news poll number 30 for Malcolm Turnbull has the Sharks circling, at least in the media, if not in the party room.
7 News has learned of plans for a delegation from Mr Turnbull's own moderate faction to confront him with their concerns.
Oh dear, sounds like a leadership spill could be on again. So, who'll be challenging this time?
Deputy Leader Julie Bishop. On the right, hardline Conservative Home Affairs Minister Peter Dutton. The Treasurer lurking behind, Tony Abbott dreaming of a comeback.
And wait for it, that's only the people who are actually in Parliament.
There's speculation this morning, good speculation, that former Treasurer Peter Costello could make a political comeback.
Good speculation? Really? That wild idea came from former Liberal staffer Imre Salasinski, who claimed that John Howard's former right-hand man could topple the PM if he made himself available. I mean, seriously? But after a day to think about it, Karl Stefanovic had another idea.
Can I be completely honest with you?
That'll be the first time.
You guys are hopeless at the moment.
No, we're not.
No, you really are hopeless.
Have you seen the economy lately? We created 420,000 jobs in the last 12 months.
You'd be better off.
That's hopeless,
You'd be better off with Peter Dutton running.
Rubbish.
And that's exactly what he was doing, according to one journalist on Twitter, who claimed a coalition party room meeting had been called for 10 o'clock this morning. And that...
Reports are Peter Dutton's staff are working numbers to take the leadership.
The tweet was shared hundreds of times and prompted news site Pedestrian to sound the alarm.
Fucking Jesus! Peter Dutton is reportedly circling a bid to knife Turnbull.
But as most in the media knew well, neither Dutton nor anyone else has the numbers to win. So there was no meeting this morning, no spill today, and there are no plans to have one in the immediate future.
Absolutely not.
I don't serve in the cabinet if I can't be loyal.
Malcolm Turnbull is leading a very committed government.
So, much as the media would love to create a challenge, the PM remains in charge. Sort of. On 30, not out. But now to a challenge that was for real, and a famous road rage incident from last July.
It's an act too violent to show on television. A 22-year-old Central Coast mother punched directly in the face.
Captured on video, the brutal punch has been shown and shared on social media many thousands of times. And who got the scoop with the victim?
Our exclusive with the mum king hit in a brutal road rage attack on a busy road.
Trash bag, that's what I'd call him.
A current affair next.
Yes, a current affair exclusive. And with a watermark like that, how could you forget? And while their colleagues at 9 News cut away before impact, the folks at ACA figured the punch was just too good to miss.
We should alert you that after careful discussion here, we will show you the punch that Bianca copped. She's well recovered, as you're about to see, so we've decided not to hide what this man did. Of course, it's your choice whether to watch.
Except that it wasn't, because viewers had already been shown it 3 times in the intro. And if they then stayed tuned, they'd have been shown it another 5 times to make it 8 in all.
He reckons he's pretty tough. This is the explosion of road rage that has appalled Australia. This heavy-set male driver casually marches up to the passenger side door of the ute in front and swings a wild right hook.
So why had he done it? ACA's Taylor Auerbach relied solely on the victim's account and pumped up the drama.
In a terrifying Hollywood-style pursuit around the Central Coast, Bianca says the man in the yellow T-shirt began trying to run them off the road.
We were both scared, out of our minds. We didn't know what to do.
Bianca Sam's claimed Clint Pollard had tailgated her and her best friend Taylor Bembridge, who was behind the wheel, and tried swerving them off the road.
In the back seat was Taylor's 5-month-old baby boy.
I had to do what I had to do to protect me and my mate and her son.
Yep, 2 women and a baby against 1 crazy man. So, what chance did she have?
I just grabbed a set of nails and then from a gun, like a nail gun, and then I just started breaking them up and throwing them at his car, hoping he'd leave us alone, and he didn't. Just kept coming.
But 2 nights later, the story did a dramatic U-turn and spun right off the road, with ACA telling viewers of a shocking new development.
Today, Bianca Sams was charged by police over her alleged behaviour in the incident that wasn't caught on camera.
Yes, would you believe it? A current affair had been conned, and Bianca's exclusive story contained a few pork pies, as 9 News revealed after she appeared in court last month.
For the first time, we can show you what happened.
Is this what provoked a man to punch a woman in the face?
You go straight to the cops, mate.
Bianca Sams leaning out of a car window, Dukes of Hazzard style, throwing nails at the ute behind her, while waving, smiling and laughing.
Yep, no sign she's being tailgated or swerved off the road. And there's another detail she'd admitted to tell ACA that was also revealed in court.
She later hurled what's believed to be a heavy metal chisel at Pollard's ute, smashing his side mirror and damaging a door.
But it doesn't end there, because Bianca's story, which a current affair lapped up, turned out to be a pack of lies. Police told the court that the unemployed single mother admitted to instigating the confrontation, and that it was Sams and Benbridge who tailgated Pollard and blasted their horn, then overtook him and slammed on the brakes. Bianca's friend, the driver, Taylor Benbridge, also got charged. And when she appeared in court in December, 9 News was again there to tell us the story that ACA had missed.
After this violent altercation, the young mother is accused of trying to mow down the man. Magistrate Peter Barnett saying, "You lost it and tried to run him over." She replied, "No, just reversed." A police investigation uncovered a Facebook post in which Benbridge is accused of writing, "Yeah, he ran, and once I seen him behind the car, I tried running him over for hitting you. Bloody gronk."
All up, an amazing story. So, should a current affair have had it for themselves? Well, yes. They gave viewers a glimpse of Benbridge trying to mow down Pollard, but then conveniently cut out. And if they'd bothered to talk to this eyewitness, interviewed on 9's local news, we reckon he could have told them what happened. So, now they do know. Has ACA set the record straight? Answer, no. But in its defence, 9 says it has updated viewers on the case via its news bulletins and says it has not made a payment to Sams. But now to Brisbane, where the stink of political donations, property development and local councils is again in the news.
Logan Mayor accused of corruption over powerboat allegedly received from campaign donor.
2 weeks ago, the Queensland Crime Commission charged Logan City Mayor Luke Smith with a number of offences, including perjury, official corruption and not declaring the gift of this luxury motorboat.
As revealed by ABC News, it's alleged he received a luxury boat like this one from a Chinese developer who donated to his election fund.
The ABC's Mark Willisey and Alex Blucher first broke the news of those charges, which centre on a 15-storey development in the suburb of Springwood. And next day, the Australian jumped on the story.
A Chinese property developer who planned to build a $750 million resort complex in a southeast Queensland environmental protection region provided an undeclared $70,000 powerboat to the local mayor, a corruption watchdog has alleged.
But while the ABC did not initially name the Chinese property developer for legal reasons, the Australian did, fingering Lien Xiongyu as the alleged donor of the boat and taking credit for sparking the Crime Commission's investigations.
Those investigations were launched following a string of reports by The Australian from September 2016 that showed Mr. Smith had received tens of thousands of dollars from a company connected to developer Lien Xiongyu.
But there was one small problem. In its rush to take credit for the story, the Australian had named the wrong Chinese property developer. Oops. As anyone reading the ABC or Courier Mail would soon have learnt. Because after waiting for the Crime Commission to release the charge sheet, they were able to reveal that the developer linked to Smith's alleged corruption was an entirely unrelated company called SKL Cables, whose entirely different directors were Ru Qiangyu and Kun Yuan Ma. The Courier Mail went on to reveal that
SKL Cables was a major donor to Smith's 2016 council election campaign.
And that, according to the charge sheet,
Smith corruptly agreed to receive a Sea Ray 240 Sundeck bow rider in connection with assisting the property development company.
Oh dear. The Australian soon knew it had got it horribly wrong, because hours after the story went up online, it dramatically disappeared. Although, of course, it was too late to take it out of the paper. And was there an immediate correction or apology? Well, no. But hey presto, after inquiries from Media Watch, there it is in this morning's paper, tucked away on page 2 for those with very sharp eyes. And finally, to gossip columnist Joe Aston, the notoriously acerbic man about town who writes Rear Window for the Australian Financial Review, and who expressed strong views in a recent column on the ball tampering scandal, namely that coach Darren Buff Lehman was to blame.
Lehman the problem in Aussie cricket's buffy culture.
Aston's column charged Lehman with being racist and homophobic. And to back that up, Joe recounted a day back in 2013 when Buff walked into a London bar and, quote,
addressed me by the homophobic sobriquet shirt lifter.
Which, of course, is old-fashioned slang for homosexual man. Aston went on to claim that Lehman
referred to Usman Khawaja, one of his batsmen in that match, and the first and only Muslim to wear the baggy green, a shoe bomber.
And he then asked, justifiably and rhetorically,
is this really the kind of man we want presiding over the Australian cricket team?
Next day, Lehman quit, although we don't put that down to Aston's column. So, where is this heading, I hear you ask? Well, given Aston was so outraged by Lehman's language, we thought we'd look at some of the homosexual slurs he's used to denigrate his targets, particularly the Australian's loyal media editor, Darren Davidson, whom Aston refers to as Lurch, after the faithful manservant in the Addams family. Over the years, Aston has called Davidson a whining pom, the village idiot, a soap holder, staggeringly incompetent, brain dead, the worst journalist in Australia, and an obsequious corporate flog. But Aston has frequently sunk lower than that with comments like this.
Poor Lurch can't count, unless his mouth is full.
Repeating that jibe in another column, in which he wrote,
Lord knows he's never happier than with his mouth full.
Those, in case you missed it, are references to fellatio, his mouth being full of, well, you get the picture. And here's a similar swipe in yet another Aston column.
Davidson sporting the deepest throat since Bob Woodward was still a humble roundsman. Pity poor Lurch's dry cleaner.
Back in 2015, Aston went even further, comparing Davidson to Trough Man, an icon of the Sydney gay scene, who liked people to urinate on him.
He's like Trough Man of Oxford Street fame, never happier than when he's being debased.
And there is more. In 20-plus columns aimed at Davidson, there's at least half a dozen other references suggesting the Australian's media editor has grass stains on his knees or lockjaw from his dealings with Lachlan Murdoch, and that he only retains his job
by virtue of his jaw's undefiantly Dyson-esque suction capability.
Dyson being the vacuum cleaner. It's pretty grubby stuff, and it's also relentless in its bullying. So why on earth has Fairfax allowed it to happen, and does it endorse this sort of abuse? Well, we don't know, because the editor of the Financial Review declined an invitation to defend his columnist. But Joe Aston did have something to say for himself, telling Media Watch,
while abusive and crass, yes, I reject your premise that my language was homophobic. In the examples you cite, I am not cruelly tormenting Lurch over his sexuality, but for his unrelenting and unashamed bootlicking of News Corp management.
And adding,
I write a combative and impertinent newspaper column. I am not a national sporting leader.
Well, maybe so, but we think it's vile. And to echo Joe Aston's own words, is this really the kind of man we want presiding over one of the Australian Financial Review's most popular columns? And you can read more about tonight's stories on our website, where you can read a statement from Nine and Joe Aston. You can also catch up with us on iView and contact me or Media Watch on Twitter. And don't forget Media Bites every Thursday. But for now, until next week, that's it from us. Goodbye.